Alright guys, now let's create our JWT service. So we'll create a JWT class now. So then we are going to annotate this with a attribute component. Now let's start to implement the JWT functionalities. Alright, so let's now create a function to generate a JWT token. So we are going to say public string generates a token. All right, because the token will be returned as a string. So we are generating the token for a user. All right, and we need to specify the user's role. So we are going to say map string objects. Okay, so this is for the claims. New hash map. All right, so let's import map from java.utils. Then we import the user, our user. Then we import the role from our here. So now we are going to say return create token, which is an helper method that I'm going to create right now. So that one is going to take claim. It's going to also take the username. So user.get username, and it's going to take the role. Let's say role.name, like this. All right, so let's create this method. Okay, so that's nice. So we are going to collect the rows. So because it is always expecting a list of rows, and what we have is a single row presently, so we are going to use a singleton list. All right, so we'll have something like collections dot singleton list. All right, so we are going to pass in okay, we need role, not name. We need role here. All right, so we are just going to pass in the role like this. So now we are going to say return. So we're going to return jwts dot builder dot set claim. Okay, so dot set claims, we are going to set these claims dot set subjects. So the subject is going to be the username. We are going to say dot set claim. So what we want to set now is going to be the rows. Normally this is going to accept like a list of rows. All right, so this is going to accept like a list of rows. Good. So that is why I did collection.singleton list. That's to convert this to a list. Dot set issue at. Okay, so when the JWT is actually issued or created, so new date, we're going to say new date. So we're going to say system, I think it is system date. Java. What am I doing? So that's not. So dot set expiration, so we can set it okay, so then let's say dot set expiration. All right, so we can say new date system dot current millis plus 1000 times 30. That's, we are going to set it to last for like 30 minutes. All right, from the current time, that's from when the token is actually generated. Then the next thing is to set sign in. All right, dot sign with key. All right, so let's say get key. I'm going to create another helper method that will handle this key. and then we are using a signature of this one we are using HS256. all right, so dot compact. Yeah, perfect. We are going to use key, so we are going to say bytes, key bytes will be equals to decoders decoders dot base 64 URL dot decode. No, let's use base 64 dot decode. all right, dot decode. Then we are going to pass our secret key, so just return keys dot, then you pass in the key bytes. Perfect. So now we need to create our secret key, and we'll do that in our constant. Let's call this app constant. all right, so private. all right, so you need to add your secret key. all right, yeah, so that is that. Now let's have another method that will help us to extract the username from the token. So we are going to have a public string extract username from token. So we are going to pass string token. So the next, so you now say return JWTs dot pass builder dot set sign key. So we are going to pass this method for getting the sign key dot build dot pass claim dot, okay, we are going to say pass claim JWS, so they will not pass the token. all right, because we're extracting the username from the token. So dot get body. So once you have gotten the body, what we are looking for is the subject. all right, so the subject is so the subject is the username. all right, so why is this crying? Okay, I'm supposed to return a string. Yeah, this is it. So the next thing we have to do is to extract the rows. all right, so let's have another implementation that allows us to extract the rows from the token. So we are going to say public list simple granted authority, simple granted authority. So let's extract rows. So we are going to extract the rows from the token. So let's pass the token. all right, so after passing the token, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to say, let's say JWTs dot pass builder dot sign, because we are going to sign in each time we want to pass want to extract any value. We should always sign in using this method, using the secret key. all right, so then we build, then pass claims. So you pass the token, so dot get body. all right, so dot get body. Okay, so then let's introduce a local variable here. So we can say claims dot get, so list dot class. all right, so let's introduce local variable again. So that's the rows. So we can now return rows dot map. Okay, we'll convert it to a string first, dot map. Then we'll pass in the simple granted authority. using the new. So dot collect collection dot to list. So collect it to a list because we want to return, we're returning a list here. All right, so that's it. Now let's also have another utility method for validating a JWT token. Let's say boolean validate token. All right, so we are going to pass in the token. Let's say string token. So let's wrap this in a try catch. Let's say try JWTS. Keep doing this. JWTS dot pass builder dot set sign key. Let's get the key dot build. So dot pass claim. Dot pass claim. So you pass the token. So we can return true. That's if the token is still valid. All right, catch exception ex. So to return false. So this is just to validate the token. So if the token is not valid, all right, we are going to return false. But if it is valid, we are going to return true. All right, we are done with our JWT service implementation.
All right, guys, it is now time for us to create our security filter. So the security filter will be in charge of intercepting JWT token and also extracting username and rows from the token. All right. So it will be actually in charge of validating JWT token and actually allowing our authenticated users to access the application. So let's proceed. Let's call it security filter like this. All right, so let's continue now.
All right, so we're going to make this a component. All right, and this is going to extend once per request filter. All right, and we are going to override the method which is do filter internal. So this method is taking an HTTP servlet request and an HTTP response and a filter chain. So the first thing we are going to do, so we are going to try to extract the token from the authorization header. So we are going to say request dot get header. All right, so we are going to pass the header. So the header is authorization. I think this is a Z authorization like this. All right, so and this is going to return the token. So this is going to return the token. So we can say we can now validate to say, okay, if token is not equals to null and token dot start with bearer. All right, there is a space here, starts with bearer. So we want to, this is what we are going to do. If the token is available, all right, and the token starts, because the token normally will start with bearer and then there is a space, then there is token. So what we are going to do, we are going to extract, all right, the token. That's removing this bearer and this space. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to say token dot substring okay, 7. So this is going to return the token, right? So let's assign it to this token variable that we have here already. This bearer, you can see bearer is a 6 letter words plus this space, which is 1. So once you minus bearer and this space, so what we are going to have is just the token. So and that is what we need to work with. So the next thing, then we'll try to validate the token. So if we are going to use JWT, you know, we already implemented a functionality for validating token. So this is where we are going to use it. Find a JWT service. So let's inject it into the constructor. So we are going to say if JWT service dot validate token, that's if the token is valid. All right, so the next thing we want to do, we'll try to extract the username from the token. So we can say JWT service dot extract username, so pass in the token. So we're going to return the username. So after extracting the username, we should also extract the rows, all right, from the token. So we can still say JWT service dot extract rows, so pass in the token. So this is going to return the rows. Good, so let's call it rows like this. So now, so what we are going to do, we are going to find the user from the repository using this username that we just extracted from the token. So let's now inject the user repository here, private final user repository. So user repository, let's add it to the constructor. So all right, so now we are going to find the user using this username that we just extracted from the token. So we are going to say user repository dot find by username, so pass the username. All right, this is going to return an optional, so optional user. So then let's say optional user dot get. All right, so let's introduce local variable. So we're going to say if the user is not equals to null. All right, so we want to create the user a user detail, all right, in the security context, that is to create an authenticated user. So what we're going to do, we're going to say new org dot spring framework dot security dot core dot user details dot user detail dot user. All right, so we're going to say user dot get, sorry, say user dot get username, and then we can say user dot get password, then we pass the rows like this. So let's introduce local variable. This will be user details. So now we want to say username. All right, so let's proceed. So we're going to say username password authentication token. So authentication will be equals to new username password authentication token. All right, so we are going to pass the user details, and we'll say null, then we pass the rows. All right, we are supposed to pass the password here, but it's not proper to expose the password, so it's not necessary. So since the token, we are going to be using the token for authorization, so there's no need to specify the password. So the next thing we can say security context holder dot get context dot set authentication. So we are going to set this authentication token. All right, so else if the user is null, we can just return a response or throw an exception, but we can just say response dot send error. All right, so we are going to say http servlet response dot unauthorized dot sc unauthorized. So we can say user not found. Okay, so then we can return. Now right here we are going to say, okay, now else if the token is equals to null, or the token does not start with bearer, we can also send a response, send an error, sorry. So we are still going to say http status http servlet response dot unauthorized. Okay, so we're going to say invalid JWT token, invalid token. Let's say invalid token, invalid token. This is all we need for the security filter.